Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of the Daily Bone Podcast, where we discuss all things crypto markets. That includes the majors like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, meme coins, and of course, NFTs. Today, we're going to discuss the continued conflict over in Iran, the different market effects of this. We're going to talk about the intersection of AI and crypto, and we're going to talk about our thoughts on how we will close out Q1 for the macro markets. Thank you all for listening day in and day out. Really appreciate each and every one of you who tune in. If you're listening over on X, give us a like, comment, bookmark, retweet, push us out there in the algorithm. If you're listening over on YouTube, drop a comment. Let us know what you want to talk about today. Let us know if you watched Easy's meme coin stream last night. I haven't yet. I got to check it out, see what he's trading. And if you're listening over on Zora, where we stream each and every day, drop a comment there as well. We'll be reading those throughout the show. Today, I am joined, special guest, returning guest, one of my favorites to have on the show. We got Chris Coffee. Chris, how you feeling today? Thanks for hopping on with us.
Good morning. Good morning. I'm feeling great today. I'm feeling really good. Feels like things are kind of turning around a little bit, and that's exciting to see after such a crabby market. But yeah, man, I'm excited to be here. Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, absolutely. We saw a little bit of a pump in the crypto market yesterday. We ran all the way up to 70K on the Bitcoin side before pulling back. I continue to say it on the show, and I never do. It's like every time Bitcoin hits 70K, you just short, and then you're gonna make out pretty well, because we've fallen off, kind of dropping a bit since that point, with equities falling this morning. So bloodbath on the equity side. Crypto not doing quite as bad comparatively. Normally, if you see this much of a sell off on equities, you're seeing a bigger drawdown on crypto, but Bitcoin has just been living in this little range lately. We had a different range we were living at for a while, between like 90 and 85. Now we're in this little 70 to 60 range.
Yeah, I like the 90 to 85 better. I did see that apparently one of the largest public Bitcoin miners changed their strategy to where they can sell today. It was called Mara. I don't even think, yeah. Coin Bureau had a very clickbait post on it. It's like the largest one selling, but I don't know how that actually affects price, but it's definitely alarming to people, updating that policy from we're not going to sell to all right, well, we can sell.
Yeah, I mean, I think you can come up with whatever policy that you want. Everything's just so fluid. Like you could say, like strategy is like saying they never are going to sell Bitcoin, but things can happen to the market that they could sell Bitcoin. Like I think even in their earnings call, they're like, yeah, well, if we get to a certain point, we can always sell Bitcoin. It's part of like what we can do to keep the business afloat. Yeah, Mara Mining basically published a new treasury strategy update in which they said, you know what, this stockpile of Bitcoin, we could consider selling this. And I think the miners are like in this weird spot right now where I think they're mining at a loss. Like mining Bitcoin costs more per Bitcoin than it does to just buy on the open market. So it's like with these mining businesses, like what is the value prop of using your compute for mining versus using your compute for AI? So I think it puts them in like a really weird position. I think we see more of this play out over this course of this year as AI continues to like trend and compute becomes more and more scarce. More and more people start using AI because the barrier to entry is getting lower. People who are like normies, quote unquote normies, not tech forward, are beginning to see the impact, see the headlines, and are asking me personally, like, what would you do? Like, how should I be using AI? So like my friend group who is like late to adopting crypto, but kind of jumped in. Now they're asking questions about AI. How do I learn AI? And all of that. So it's interesting to see the shift.
Yeah, it's more like instantly valuable, than like buying and waiting for an asset to go up. It's like you can replace a lot of the apps that you use by like one prompt, or a couple prompts or whatever. And you could build whatever your wildest dreams. Like, if you're a creative person, like you can make that happen. So it is hard. Whereas I actually made a post about this the other day when I was getting into crypto. Even for years, like I'm the type to ask questions. I don't know if it was my friend group in crypto or what, but people would like treat you like you're stupid. Or if they did explain it, they would skip so many steps. It's like, well, you might as well have not explained it to me. Whereas like AI, you just ask the LLM anything you want. You could be as stupid as you want and just keep on asking the LLM like questions, and you're eventually going to get your answer. Whereas like my crypto friend, when I'm first getting started, it's like, oh, well, how do I start an LP? How do I, change this side of the LP to whatever. And it's like they start getting frustrated and they're like, why you ask these questions? You should know this or whatever. I've gotten that so much because I'm just a question asker. I ask until I understand. But yeah, I've noticed that with AI is like I'll just ask LLMs now and like work my way through it.
How have you been during this couple day period where Claude's been in and out of operation?
Yeah, it affected me. It like killed my open. I made a clickbait video yesterday on like it killed my open claw bot because like I woke up and like I was like, good morning. And my robot's name or my bot's name is Marvin from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. I don't know if you ever watched that movie. It's an oldie. He's like the depressed robot, and he like didn't respond. And usually I can just like do like at least like a models check or like some type of check in the Telegram, even if the API is not calling. And he just wasn't there. And I was like, oh my gosh. It's like I felt like I was needing to do math without a calculator. It's like I'm too reliant on this right now, for my everyday like workflow. And Mondays is also like my biggest output days. Like I heavily rely on Claude. So it affected me a little bit during that morning, but I was able to get it back recently after.
I've been getting this constantly throughout, like when I'm trying to talk to my Telegram bot on my OpenClaw setup. Basically, my fallback of my local LLM is also like not correctly working. It's something I have to like reconfigure because I'm like basically relying on the Claude Max.
Oh yeah, I do the Claude Max too. And I originally set up my bot on like an old MacBook. I'm talking like 2013 iMac, not even MacBook, I guess. And it was so frustrating because like I would have to like, it was not even in the same room as me. It was so hard to unlock. It was so slow. So anytime I had to do like an actual like Claude bot doctor or some type of like thing inside the terminal, it was just so annoying. I'm running it on VPS now, and it's a lifesaver. But anyways,
yeah, I mean, I'm actually excited to talk more about what you've built and what we've done there. I'm going to really quickly jump into a weather report, but first I'm going to give a big shout out to Awaken. We've been talking about them. We're going to continue to talk about them on the show. Taxes coming up just over a month in the US. Awaken is the premier tax software. Everyone on our team uses it, been using it for years. Kix has been using it even longer than I have. It is a massive, massive time saver. Best crypto tax reporting software in the industry. If you found something else that's better, let me know. But I have not found a better source. I've been using this for my taxes. No issues. Handles all chains, all assets, niche assets. Andrew over there is constantly shipping updates. He is, I don't know how he does it, to be honest, because we're partnering with them and like we talk to Andrew all the time. He does not have any free time. He is constantly either shipping, posting about Awaken, or in meetings trying to grow Awaken and figure out the best ways to develop the software. So amazing tax software. You can get discount codes through us. You can use the code BODOGGOS for a 20% discount when you sign up. You can use BODOGGOS back. If you're a returning customer, you'll get $50 towards your tax credits. You also can just use this absolutely free. They have an amazing portfolio tool where you can basically import all your wallets. You only pay when you need your tax documentation. So you can get an idea of all of your taxes up front, kind of gives you a little bit of an estimate, gives you portfolio tracking. Nick found like 230 Solana that had gone missing because he used this software last year. So if you're somebody who does not have your crypto portfolio well handled, this does a great job of tracking that for you. And then it has the added benefit of providing tax forms, everything you need to hand off to your accountant to be clean in crypto. Ellie.jpg asking, the code is BODOGGOS back. Yes, BODOGGOS back will give you $50 off if you've already signed up. If you participated last year when we've been doing this, if you're a new customer, you can use BODOGGOS, just BODOGGOS. Big shout out to Awaken. Love working with them. They are the best, and that makes us happy to be part of their marketing team.
Yeah, I don't work with them, and I use them every year. I think at one point, I like maybe did not like a real partnership, but just like a maybe boosted referral or something, but not this year. And I love them, dude. I use them a lot too for tax harvesting this year because they have an option basically for what your losses are before the year ends, and they actually supported ordinals. I think originally they weren't going to, and then they went back on it. So I was able to harvest some ordinals that I completely forgot that I bought. And I mean, literally harvested thousands of dollars because they supported it. So yeah, I mean, it's not only saved me time, it saved me money. And that I'm not, I'm just a guest of the show. I'm not not able to partner with them. Like, legitimately, it's the best tax product. And I do still use an accountant. Exactly what you said. I run through all my stuff and I make it nice and neat for my accountant. And he doesn't even have to care about crypto or any of that. He doesn't have to go through my 20,000 transactions. I just hand him the paperwork from it, and it makes everything just so much easier. It's such a good product.
Yeah, excellent. So many niche chains and stuff. Like, it immediately picked up my deposit into the Flying Tulip ICO, like whatever contract that is. They had it like the next day. So it's wild how quickly they're shipping and how fast they add integrations. Also, he's very, very receptive to feedback. You can probably just ping him on Twitter with like any kind of like missing information or questions. He'll probably get back to you. And if you do have more pressing issues, jump in the Bodogos Discord, let us know, and we can kind of forward some of those over to him.
I also use it as an argument against like normies. They're always like, "Oh, taxes are sound so stressful for crypto or whatever." I'm like, dude, because it's on chain, like I plug it into this software and it like does it all for me in minutes. Like, it's really not, it's nothing I even think about anymore. Because I mean, that's also just the beauty of things being on chain. It's just easier to do because you can track across all these different accounts just with like one connection.
Yep. And this is also like another like a warning / like reason you should be doing your crypto taxes, because it's this easy to get everything filed and tagged. It's also this easy for the IRS to eventually look back and say, oh, this guy has all this crypto, all these crypto transactions from these like linked wallets. It'll even recommend linked wallets for you. So like that information's out there. So you need to be doing your taxes if you don't want to end up in hot water. And this is the way to do it. Enough about Awaken, though. I'm sorry to talk everyone's ears off on this crypto podcast. It's just that this product is something that I think deserves the time. I'm going to jump off today with a little bit of a weather report, and then we'll dive into the meat of the show. Yeah, let's kick it off. Let's do it. All right, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today is Tuesday, March 3rd. Looking over at the crypto roundup. Majors down a little bit from their peaks yesterday, but up overall on the day. Bitcoin just over 67K, Ethereum at 1959, Solana just under $84, and Hype at $31.41. Over the past 24 hours, equities and gold have both been in free fall this morning. The NASDAQ specifically down over 2% in pre-market trading, S&P down 1.7, Dow futures down 1.85. all amidst the growing conflict in Iran. Next story, prediction markets continue to gain steam as Polymarket recorded its second highest volume day ever with $478 million worth of volume. The only day that beat it, Election Day 2024. Prediction markets getting so much steam that the NASDAQ wants in on the action. They filed to launch their own prediction market yesterday. And finally, as we said earlier, tensions continue to heat up in the Iranian conflict. Revolutionary Guards commander said the Strait of Hormuz is closed and Iran will be firing on any ship trying to pass. Odds of an official closure by March 31st are now at 76%. That'll do it for the weather report. Now let's continue with the show. Chris, I know you're not big into prediction markets. You haven't really jumped in yet. I wish I had someone to ask, like, why is this not 100%? I really need like a kicks on today. Be like, why is this Strait of Hormuz closing not at 100%? If they're like firing on ships and they're like saying like, hey, like it's closed, stop trying to enter. But I'm sure I'll get some sort of answer in the comments or I'll figure out later. But right now, looking at 79%, like basically everything's getting bombed that's going through. This got as high as 84% on Friday, 75% now. So maybe like an interesting 20% gain on something that seems likely. But what I really want,
it's funny how much people will care more, about very specific details with these prediction markets versus like if you're not in the market.
Yeah, I need the guys to do like a skit along the lines of this, like just like the guys out, like, having like a normal conversation and they just like get super deep into like these really niche topics. So like, yeah, you like, it's like some, like you have like one maybe normie friends like, oh, do you see like the Iranian conflict? Like, I work somewhere and like the Strait might be closed, and they're like, well, actually, it's not officially closed per resolution, so or like something like
Yeah,
that.
I just read the headlines yesterday, and I saw that they were gonna close it. And I saw prior to that the responses. I think the U.S. Bombed like 11 of their ships, but that's literally the extent that I know of it. And I know that it's the primary source that oil flows to. Like 20% of the supply in the world goes through that the Strait of Hormuz. But that's just normal. I feel like knowledge. That's not like I don't know what I don't know. I don't know the details of it. I don't know why it's not 100%.
Yeah, it's very very interesting. So maybe opportunity here, but one thing that I've been looking at recently, I've been talking about this on the show a few times, with the context of like MicroStrategy Stretch and like how it's a pretty good product that I started using and buying for yield on just like free capital, and they like increase their yield. But the interesting thing here is like whenever this stretch hits $100, they can start issuing new equity, and then basically they're going to be building money in their treasury that they're using to acquire Bitcoin. So right now, looking at this this stretch chart, it's essentially should be pegged to $100. They set the interest rate so that it becomes attractive to like buy up to $100, and then whenever it crosses over, they can use the proceeds to purchase Bitcoin. Bear with me. This is not going to be like a stretch MicroStrategy shill. There is a little bit of alpha with this that I'm trying to point out. But we've been like in this 99.5 to $1 range for almost 12 days. We've never had this type of bullish period in this range where we continue to test this $100 mark. So I'm thinking that they are acquiring large amounts of Bitcoin. Last week, they did very well. They acquired 3,000 Bitcoin on the week. I think that number could be even higher this week. Looking at prediction markets, you have a market for MicroStrategy announces a greater than $1,000 or greater than 1,000 Bitcoin purchase this week. This is sitting at 90% right now. So you would get 10%, a little more than 10% return on this right now. And you can always bid maybe a little bit lower. The order book's pretty thin to 84 cents. Maybe you can get some bids at 84 cents here. But I think this is all but a lock based on the price action of Stretch just through these first couple days. And then another interesting one that's like a little bit less odds is, will MicroStrategy announce holding 640K plus Bitcoin by March 31st, which is end of month. Currently, they hold 720K. So they need to acquire about 20,000 more over the 10th, the 17th, or the 9th, the 16th, the 23rd, and the 30th. So they have four more buys. They would need to average 5K per buy. I don't think they hit this, but I do think that there could be a big acquisition announcement next week with this STRC strength that would move this up in the short term. So this is one I'm looking to potentially swing trade 30%. Maybe this gets to 40%, and that would be like a 33% gain on capital. So I'm like in between taking this one for like a little bit of a gamble on a 33% chance of a bit of a run, in my opinion, or just taking the free 10% on the greater than 1,000 Bitcoin announcement. And with these markets, you also have to be careful. Make sure there's no like holiday on a Monday, because they announce it's what they announce by the 9th. So if they announce it on the 10th, you resolve as no, because they don't make the announcement. Just want to share
just that little detail is like why one of the reasons why I haven't dove into prediction markets is just like I feel like there's so many like nuances and like little things that like it's just trial and error that I just don't want to get past. Like I feel like I'll be really confident in something and then not know it at the time it resolved or whatever. I know Easy and you guys have a ton of videos on it, but yeah, it's just scary to get started on it. I mean, I've done prediction markets, I just haven't nothing meaningful.
Yeah. I mean, that's part of it. Like that's something we've learned from being on the other side and talking about these markets. Like that little nuance is something that you pick up over time. You also pick up like these government closures and shutdowns. What days the government's operating? Are they going to be posting a closure on their page? Like you have to be really careful with the resolutions and maybe even run them through like
The
and be like,
funniest one I saw was Easy's if somebody would play at the Super Bowl. Who was it? Cardi B.
Oh, yeah, Cardi
If
B.
Cardi B
Yeah.
would perform at the Super Bowl, and like she ended up with like a bunch of other famous people just like on stage, like kind of dancing. And then and I guess it end up resolving that it counted as a performance, right?
Yeah,
I don't
like
know if they changed it.
dancing counted as a performance. Yeah, Cardi B.
Yeah, but like he was thinking, and everybody was probably thinking like perform, like who was it? Lady Gaga did or something like that. Like like an actual performance, not like on stage dancing. That was crazy, man. That'd be one of the things that would just like make me so upset.
Yeah. Okay. Qualifying performance includes participation at halftime, so without singing. So as long as the aforementioned criteria are met.
Yeah, I remember his post saying like, I guess Adam Sandler, Logan Paul, Paul will whatever all perform at the halftime show.
Logan Paul halftime performance.
Yeah, I don't know. That was funny.
I think I'm closer to your side though. So like I talk a lot about prediction markets and I posit these plays. I don't take a ton of action on these things. Like my history on here is like I haven't made like a million orders. Like I traded the Zach XBT. I actually tweeted about this the other day. I took that same greater than 1,000 Bitcoin announcement. I took it like 15 minutes before they announced it, and I made $73 on that. On made that yesterday. So
yeah.
And then some other random. So I took this stupid Iran ceasefire because Nick tweeted about it. It was up pretty big, and then I just never sold it. Bitcoin up down markets. I was like playing around with like algorithms for those, but yeah, I haven't done like a ton here. These are all basically the same trade. The Zach XPT.
That was an interesting. I followed that pretty closely. I had a video do really well on Twitter about that, the Zach XBT investigation. I'm sure you guys talked about that on the show, but I don't know. I feel like, in my opinion, that's kind of a disappointing resolution. It was like that guy who was using like wallet connections or insider information to make like 200K. We were all expecting it to be like a huge scandal.
Yeah, and he said, "I hope this isn't like underwhelming." I wonder if like I've seen like other people like speculate that it wasn't just that. Like they needed to build more evidence against him, so they wanted to see if like he would inside trade the Polymarket, which he did, of course, and they figured it out.
Zach did. Or the
whatever his name
the guy who got busted. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. They found wallets connected to him that insider traded the Polymarket too. So maybe there's like building additional evidence. They just want to get a bad actor out of there.
Interesting. Yeah, still kind of like, all right, cool. Everybody was betting big stuff.
Yeah, so those are my plays I'm going to be watching out for. I think I'm probably going to take a look. Maybe I'll go 50-50. I'll like put a small flyer on the 30% chance here. Hold this through next Monday when we could see an increased buy. Also, while monitoring the price of Stretch. If Stretch continues to sit at this, like it's basically been living at 100 the last 4 days. So it's like it wants to go above, they issue more, wants to go above, they issue more, wants to go above, they issue more. So I'm thinking they've acquired a decent chunk of change on the Stretch side. So I'll continue to monitor that, continue to monitor the odds on this. But these are the ones I'm really interested in this week.
Yeah, I like your like thought behind that and your strategy. Like it makes sense. I just I've been taking a lot more passive approach on everything. Like I've been like buying just a little bit of Bitcoin every day. I reminds me of PO, but a way smaller amount. And then I've been like doing like, I staked some, or I provided LP yesterday, like have some LP positions going. Like I'm playing defense against the crypto market right now. And I feel like prediction markets is high risk, high reward. You're playing offense on, I know this isn't like meaningful, like, trying to retire off of this, but it's more of an offensive strategy, I feel like. But I've definitely been more on the passive side of like, how do I just accumulate things that I like and with preserving my capital. And that's kind of been my like play for the crypto market the last few months during this crappy market is like preservation of capital and stacking sats. And it sounds so boring. I would like to say I'm doing it in some fun ways, but it has been on the boring side lately.
I mean, I'm with you on the crypto side. There hasn't been a ton of interesting things that have caught my eye. I'm basically turned on to DCA once we hit below 70K Bitcoin just to buy daily. I keep saying that I want to short Bitcoin every time it hits 70, but I just can't pull the trigger. I normally have really bad luck with shorts. I figure the first time I do it, it's going to be time for the generational run. I'm just going to completely undo all of the spot stacking I've been doing throughout these last couple of weeks. But my mind frame and my like mental model right now is we chop through October. I think I have like I think this is my target bottom based on the last cycle, how far we drew down, how long it took us to draw down. I think we have another leg down, and I think we're gonna turn the corner in October. I think that will be absolute pico bottom. Again, this is male astrology, TA, trying to repeat trends. Who knows what's going to happen? But I'm just going to kind of keep this here on my radar as being like the target point. If we go up sooner, I'm happy because I'm buying every day. If we go down sooner, I'm going to say, okay, well, we only have another 7 months of pain. In the long run, that's not a terrible amount of time. Preserve capital, like you said, buy the coins you like, and just be patient. And as always, look for new opportunities because I'm interested in new stuff. Like it just has to be worth my time. Like recently, I minted Adam's season 2 of his token works for an ETH, which is like not a little amount of money.
Yeah.
The first one, having PunkStrategy come out of that, I just thought that was like a decent investment into like someone who's building and could have like a big hit token that fingers crossed could like provide dividends over time.
When will the resolution for that be?
You're saying for the token works?
Yeah.
So that's like a year-long token, essentially. So I think last year he did it in like March or April or May. So my season 1 token is still good through a couple months, but I'm continuing.
That's right, yeah.
I'm continuing to earn fees forever on PunkStrategy. So
I haven't even looked at Punk. I forgot about that. That was my biggest fumble of 2025 was PunkStrategy because I bought at like 1 million market cap. And I sold half at like 5 million. And then I sold the rest of the bag at 20 mil. And then it went to and I made good money off of it. Like, I mean, good money. I made some money, but I would have made like life-changing money had I just like bought and held it and like not even sold the top. Like if I would have just sold anywhere above 100 mil, because it went to like 300 mil or something like that. Like if I had just sold anywhere between 100 and 300 mil, it'd have been like life-changing money. But I fumbled
and put my wallet on and see where I bought and sold this token here on Dex Screener. I did something very similar, of course.
Yeah, I remember. I think we talked about it. Yours was kind of similar, I think.
Like 30 bill, I was like almost all out, and I was in, sub 10, whatever. But it's nice. I think we've gotten as token works holders who just get this in perpetuity forever. It's renounced. It just any fees that come from this go to us, like a portion. I think that's paid out like 1.8 ETH over this lifespan.
The fact that this is still at 16 mil is pretty admirable with 1.8 million in liquidity. Like that's crazy. Yeah, there was a short phase where I tried memes again. It was during the AI agents when they first started getting a little bigger. Like what was it? There was a specific platform. Maybe it was Base. There was like a small. No, this is recent, like a month ago. There was like a small AI agent meta on Base.
Banker.
It was at the time that Banker led the way, but there was like other agents doing stuff. But again, I think after like you're talking about, is it like the time yield? Like, is it worth the stress? It's like I would spend like, it was around all of that, but it wasn't just the big tokens. I'm talking like I was staying up until 2 a.m., 3 a.m. trading. And it was just like I was not getting sleep. I was spending hours a day on this just to take like big wins and a big loss and a big win and a big loss, and probably like broke even at the end of the week or so. And I was just like, man, I'm not built for this. Like I do like trenching, like it's fun sometimes, but like, staying stressed out for like 4 hours from like 11 p.m. to like 2 a.m. or something like that. And then like seeing everybody in chat screenshot like 4K P&L, 5K P&L. I'm sitting here just trying to break even. Like it's not for me anymore. I'm not saying I'm done with the trenches, but like that version of trenching is just like, it's got to be, the market's got to be super hot for me to like want to focus my time and energy on like, that, which I guess is what Easy streamed last night. I would be interested to know how he did in this market.
Yeah, I think he's using a Terminal, a new partner of ours. It's Funds Trading Bot. It's a very good product. One of the best I've used in terms of meme coin trading bots. They have base support and I think finance support as well. So I think he talked to some base tokens. I know that we had some movement on the base side. I think we saw Venice's VVV token
Yeah.
a little bit yesterday. I think for whatever reason, I don't know if it was like, I didn't dive into it, but it looked
Oh
like,
my gosh.
yeah,
That's crazy.
like it was included in OpenClaw's recommended agents for privacy. Like it was its default recommended agent. I need to dive into this more. I know there's like some mechanics here where there's a token underneath this that is used for compute value, goes back into the VVV token, but it's basically like a privacy / compute token. And I saw, let me find it. I wish I could spell his last name. It's like Pete Steiber. It's like whoever the OpenClaw.
It's Peter Steinberg. He's like super against crypto, but butthurt against it.
Yeah, I'm gonna find his post because I was looking at it last night because he was essentially commenting on the Venice situation where he's like, oh, it was an oversight that was included or something like that.
Never loved somebody and hated him so much. He's like I love how much he ships and I like him a lot. He's just like overly pessimistic about crypto. It's like, and I don't know if it was before the whole like debacle or after, but if you're not aware, I'm sure you are, Ray, but like basically when he was transitioning Claudebot to Moltbot originally, or he had to like change the Git book and all that. He had to like change up some stuff, and a lot of crypto people were mad because the Claudebot token was doing so well, and so they went in and basically swiped the, I guess, his original Claudebot information or the Moltbot. I forgot which one it was. But basically they screwed him, and he spent like the whole day trying to like fix what crypto people messed up because they were trying to like pump their token. And he just, ever since that day, he's just like been so, and I don't even really blame him. It's just he goes over the top with like unnecessary like comments about crypto. Just like, why?
Yeah, no, yeah, I don't blame him either. I think that he talked about that in his interview with what's his name? It's the biggest interview guy ever. I can't even think of his name right now. It's embarrassing. Anyway, yeah, like they sniped his name on like all the different platforms. He was like getting ready to just like kill the whole thing. It was bad. And I think that crypto gets that reputation because there's just so many people out there. It's like there's no police for like essentially quote unquote like beggars. Like imagine if you're like in a big city and like the barrier to entry is zero to be like to get money off the streets. There's no policing and you can do it like virtually. It just creates this atmosphere where like there's no negative effect to you as a person to be doing this on the internet. And there is like some sort of outsized upside to be complaining like this. It just really makes it easy for the bad actors to just, in terms of quantity, bubble up. I don't know exactly how to eloquently, form that thought, but it's just, you're going to see more of the bad than the good. And you have to understand with crypto that like the majority of people who are serious about this aren't those people.
Yeah.
That are in the Twitter comments.
I mean, it's people that use AI for spam stuff. Like even Mert left a comment on one of Peter's last things talking about how like somebody sent like an AI bot farm to like try to take down his website or something like that, but he doesn't like hold all of AI accountable for that instance.
Yeah. Thanks, Ben, for the assist. Lex Friedman. That would have bothered me for the rest of the show if I'd not been able to remember Lex Friedman. That's like really Tyler D listening right now while multitasking and posting about this. He provided a nice tweet here. It's no longer listed on, it's no longer highlighted as the default model of OpenClaw's providers, but it is included in the list of 25 providers. Here's the original post where it was included. The default was the Venice Llama 70 billion token model. And I believe, yeah, Pete said here, this is an older doc oversight. We want to be neutral on this.
Okay, so, I mean, that's better than what he could have said, so that I get he's just trying to be careful.
Yeah.
But I don't know much about VVV. I'm assuming it's like more decentralized, whereas like, so I'm guessing, is it just more of like a decentralized model, or is it not a model at all? I don't know anything about it.
I don't know enough about it. I think it's just some mechanic where it uses different models in a way that like can be private. So it like provides privacy.
Okay.
So like if you have sensitive data, I think it's something that would be interesting to use. I haven't done anything with like AI Cloud with where I like it was required me to provide sensitive data. Like the only thing I'm moving around are like API keys that I have like kind of like well secured and like with limits. So I'm not really concerned about the stuff I've been passing. But if I did have to pass sensitive information, I would probably be diving down the rabbit hole for
Sure.
Venice, where it's like the intersection of crypto and AI.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's what I do. I just put limits on all my API stuff. So like if, worst comes to worst, like I lose $20 or $50 or something like that. Like I'm not really as concerned about that stuff.
And we were talking about AI. I know you've been building. You've been basically like have almost become a full blown AI influencer at this point. What's been more of some of the exciting stuff, the stuff that's like caught your interest? Like, what are you currently building? Like, what's your thoughts on AI and like your strategy surrounding it? Kind of as it continues to accelerate.
I think it hit me like very recently, like within the last few weeks, that like, how crypto Twitter is, like something goes meta and everybody posts about it, but like it kind of stays at that level. So it's like easy to assume that everybody's up here when most everybody's really just in the middle. Like they'll pull the Alex spin and buy a couple of Mac minis, and then they'll be like, getting their bot to send them a morning report. And like, that's it, and with nothing wrong with morning reports, mine does that too. But it's like, are they actually going the next steps? So I've been trying to go the next steps as a non-software engineer the last few weeks. And I just started thinking, like, I think there's a way to build meaningful products that people will use as, the cringe vibe coder. And like Twitter, I feel like slams you for that because like vibe coding has a bad stigma. But at the end of the day, like your grandma will like want to use a product or a service, and whether that's paid or whether you can make other revenue from it, I think it's worth trying. And so that's kind of what I've been doing. I've had a lot of ideas. I have one of them as far as Test Flight, which is like in the App Store, you can like submit an app and then get all your friends and family to like test it and try it. It's not crypto related. It's completely like normie related, and I have like a pretty cool like game plan for it. But just even getting a Test Flight is like, dude, I built this app. Like I didn't do it. Like I use Cloud Code for it more so than my like OpenClaw bot. But to even get there was just like, wow, you could like literally do anything with this. And so I've been trying to have that mindset lately of like actually using my brain to think about problems that can be fixed and do them. I just missed Pump Fund had like a hackathon, and it was like $3 million, and they only had 90 applicants. And I'm like, man, like if I would have had this mindset and saw that like a month ago, I really think I could have been in the running, because like most of the applicants, like, I mean, there was some really good entries, but like the bar wasn't set as high as you think it was. So yeah, I've just been doing that. And my app isn't like, I haven't said what it is, and it's probably not going to matter to everybody watching this anyways, because it's not crypto related. But like it's random stuff I've been doing. Like this took me 10 minutes yesterday, and I did post about this. I like created a system that looks up all of the restaurants in my area and finds arbitrage deals, like if they're mass restaurant chains, it finds like the online deals. If they're local, it finds deals or whatever. And it sends me a report every day on like how much I could save and the best deals in my area. That way, if I want to go pick up, like, it's super simple. It's a cron job, right? If you click on that, you'll see like half price cheeseburgers Tuesday after 5 p.m. at Sonic, right? So like, and so if I wanted to go just to get a half price cheeseburger, I know that, right? And this is, again, I'm not saying this is big at all. This took me 10 minutes, but my agent worked on it for about 45 minutes. And I could just add to this. I could, right now that's a lot of corporate places, but what I could do is get Facebook's API and go do all my local businesses, and then have all the local business where they post, it scrapes that and puts that into the flow. I could find, a comment recommended this. I'm not going to do this because I don't care about charging for something like this. But if I wanted to find the 50 most popular cities, as Brock's comment, Breadcat, that's a good one too. But yeah, go find Breadcat. Like I thought it was a great idea. Like if you wanted right there, if you wanted to find the top 50 most traveled to cities and then like make sites for these that do exactly this and people could pay a small fee for it, it's like, I think people would pay for that. I'm not going to do that. I'm not interested in that, but I do think that is like a possibility. So anyways, just like doing stuff like that. So I get, is that I think is like really cool stuff that is very simple to build. Like all you have to do is have the idea. And like, I mean, as you know, from being involved with it, like you can make any idea come to life pretty simply now. And that was a one shot. That this thing was a one shot. Normally that's not the case. My app that's in like the test flight right now, I probably spent 15 hours on it. And it's constant, like changing things up. It definitely was everything but a one shot.
Yeah. So there's so much that you can do. And like, I think the barrier to entry is so low. Like once you get OpenClaw set up and you have your phone, like you can just be like a project manager from your phone. I went on a road trip over the weekend. I said this yesterday, and it was like a 4-hour drive there and back. And you just like give it some ideas, and it spins up a website you can access anywhere from your phone while you're just giving it commands. And the barrier to entry and the barrier of like software creation is just continuing to drop. I think that learning how to do it is going to be very important. It's going to seem like hard and foreign for people at first. But every day you spend learning a little bit more, you kind of don't even feel it. Like I don't feel like an expert by any means, but I feel like if I were looking at myself from my own point of view 2 weeks ago, I'd be like, damn, like you're doing things I wouldn't even have thought about. So like, the knowledge stacked on each other in a way that staying on top of this is going to be providing like long-term skill value. Not only if like you don't even need to necessarily like want to go into like AI like as a founder, just for helping out with your daily tasks.
Like
solving problems. It's all very, very tied together.
Literally today before this live, I work like 1 day a week and I send like an itemized report for what I do or whatever. And somebody was like, hey, I recommend using this software to like, help you itemize your time. And I was just like, dude, that's a one shot on my OpenClaw. Like, and I did it, before we started, I opened my OpenClaw and I said, hey, I need to report to you like what I do every week and the hours I spend. Can you like spin me up something? I have mine connected to Notion just because I like Notion. And it made me like this perfect like log of like, all I got to do is now go in and say, all right, I worked for 3 hours today is what I did. And it logs it for me. And that way at the end of the week, I have an itemized report. So, I mean, it's just, you could literally, it's a little scary for software because I think it's getting scarier. Like all the time that I spent on this app that I'm making, I don't believe anybody can do that. It's everybody here probably could, but I don't believe like, again, like people like that I see like in my local small town area will be able to do that. But I'm thinking like next year at this time they could, like because the barrier is getting lower. Right now I still have to know like a lot of tech stuff. I still have to like, I SSH or be able to get into like my VPS and like do things from the terminal. Like even what seems simple for us because we do that all the time, like people can't really do. But like a year from now, like people are going to be able to like use the AI bot feature on OpenAI because they had like that acqui-hire of Peter. I'm sure there's going to be something like that. And they're going to say, hey, make me an app. And it's probably going to work, So it's like all these like steps, I think they are important, but I do think they're going to be possibly irrelevant a year from now, which is scary. Because like it's a harm to software in general, and it's a harm to white collar work in general. Because like I don't think it's going to provide more jobs than it's going to take. Because a lot of people use that internet argument of like, oh, everybody thought the internet was going to take jobs, but ended up providing jobs. I don't think that's the case. I think one person's going to do 10 people's jobs now, and that is a scary reality that I wish wasn't the case. But this is just where we're at.
Yeah, I'm more of the optimist that I think it's going to create additional value. I think you're going to see maybe like a decoupling from like the traditional big Fortune 500 company with a bloated staff to like more fragmented startups, smaller companies, smaller, leaner teams, interesting new things that could never have been done before. Like I think we're framing it like on like the current output, what currently exists, how people consume both content and like consumer goods. I think a lot of that is going to shift. because a lot more is going to be possible. Everything's gonna be a lot more efficient, and we're going to see like emergent markets where that's at least where my hope and my belief is that we land. It's like more utopia than like the the bad case, I'd say.
Is there enough problems that need to be fixed for that though? Right? Like, is there enough, like, do we need 100, do we need an abundance of startups that like all compete with each other and trying to do the same thing, versus like the products we already have? Do we need Frank making Frank and a million Franks making a website that checks for your monthly subscriptions when we have Rocket Money already? Like, and,
I agree. Like, that's what I'm saying. I think emergent consumer goods are going to come out, things that we never knew we needed. Like, it's like asking like the farmer before the automobile with like the horse and buggy, like, what is a car going to unlock? And it's going to unlock the ability to access to goods you never had access to in middle America, or like, like, I think it's just the amount of stuff we consume and the different things we need is just going to increase exponentially, as it has continued to kind of do like over the course of human evolution.
Yeah,
there weren't very many things when we were just like farming and like living in tribes with agriculture. Not at all. And like you can't imagine what you can't imagine. It comes down to it too. So
yeah,
I don't know.
I hope you're right. I would enjoy an optimistic view of everything. So we'll see. And I will say the average person just doesn't know like as much about AI. It's not like everybody's running their own OpenClaw agent right now. Like I saw a statistic the other day, and it was a very, very small percent of people that even run an agent. And like, again, like I keep on using like my local people as an example, but like their extent of AI is, one, they're already getting a bad taste of it because of data center stuff. But two, they have ChatGPT and they use it for Google and maybe create a character of themselves. Like that's the average person that I know extent of AI. So they're still, and some of my friends are getting a little deeper. They're kind of giving a little bit more complex instructions instead of like, hey, can you like write this better for me? They're kind of giving like, can you create this? I don't know, like a little bit more complex, they're going through the steps, but people definitely aren't at like the agent level and like the deeper understanding of like the different LLMs and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, they're barely like in terms, I have a pretty smart group of friends that are all in essentially either white collar or education jobs. And like, they're just scratching the surface. I actually sent over my one buddy who's like been expressing interest. He's like, I was like giving them things. I was like, you need to get into this. And like, I need to push it a step further. I'm like, here, try to do this with AI. Like make your fantasy football cheat sheet only through ChatGPT or something like that's like interesting to them. And now he's like, okay, I want to subscribe to which one should I subscribe to? What do I get for the subscription and like all that? So like they're getting like closer and closer to kind of like adopting it. It just takes time to people who aren't familiar.
I saw this the other day. Yeah, the Anthropic courses. I actually want to take some time to take these.
Yeah, I started doing some of these.
Were they good?
I mean, I think I did like Claude 101 and Claude Code in action. It just, those two were just like essentially like you could just skip to the test and take it.
Okay.
But like if you're somebody who is like trying to figure out where to start, this is a very good spot. It's a combination of video and like text summarizing the video. So if you're somebody who learns visually, you can watch a video. If somebody who just needs to skim topics, you can skim topics. But I really like this as like kind of like an entry level, like structured course way to get into this, instead of just being like, all right, they're saying I should go into AI. I type a couple things into ChatGPT, I forget about it a week later, and now I'm not getting into AI.
They should create an on-chain, what do you call it when you like graduate, a certificate thing? Yeah, like an on-chain certificate for these. Like that'd be really cool. Like I know like there should be a provable way that somebody took these classes and passed the test, and have that online to where like, if people are looking at you, they can say like, oh, he, excelled at every course that Claude, that Anthropic released.
You do get a
certificate. Okay. Yeah. I doubt it's on chain, but
yeah. And they mention it. Yeah, it's not on chain, but they do mention it. Like you can like share it. Like you can easily share it to like LinkedIn.
That's cool. Okay. I got to do this like today. That's so cool. Yeah. I saw it yesterday and I was like, man, especially while Claude was down, I need to do this, but I just got busy doing other stuff. But that's something that is really interesting. I would put that on my LinkedIn.
Yeah, for sure. I
Are you
think
allowed
that
to, are you allowed to say you're an expert if if you have all the certificates? You know, like can I officially say that I'm an expert if I have every certificate that Anthropic offers?
I would 100%, I would 100% think so. I
Yeah,
think that like the definition of expert being in the top X percent of knowledge for a subject matter um,
yeah.
would apply. I want to shift gears to crypto before we close out. Bitcoin continuing to fall now under 67K, continuing to live in this range. One token though that has outperformed um, has been Hype. Hype has been on an absolute tear
Yeah.
since the conflict began. Caught a ton of attention. It's now 2 Bloomberg articles talking about Hyperliquid. Um, the Iranian conflict took place outside of market hours, and the pricing of oil, gold, commodities really happened on Hyperliquid.
Interesting.
Me open. So you saw a ton of volume come into Hyperliquid, HIP3 markets. Bloomberg posted an article like that, like cited Hyperliquid as to like what we could look forward to for the market open. And then they had another article about all the volume and open interest in these contracts. So Hyperliquid is like hitting mainstream in terms of like their viability. And I think it's going to continue to do so as long as this conflict lasts, because conflict's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The markets are not. And so Hyperliquid is. So if you do see big swings in where the conflict is heading, like if the strait officially closes, if it escalates, if it de-escalates, you're going to see the price action first on something like, all these decentralized order books, and Hyperliquid has the best open interest on these real world assets. So question for you, you're holding Hype, right? And then you actually just deployed it into our favorite pool here that we've been talking about, that everyone thinks we're sponsored by, Project X. What's your strategy here?
Well, it's kind of like I said earlier, I'm just playing defense, man. I set my range pretty gracious. My strategy is if I buy Hype when it goes out of range, I'm fine with that. I'm not really that exposed to Hype, but I'm just kind of accumulating the fees, even at a small amount. And also, like, I don't really know much about Project X. I just know it's the easiest to do this. But, like, it's not, I don't hate getting on the leaderboard of, like, getting ranked and getting points and stuff. That's always usually never a bad thing. I also do, I make content. I haven't made as much like on like this style of thing in a while, but like I like I see you have that referral code boost, activator boost. Like I could do a video on it and get that boost if I wanted to. You're ranked like 782. That's crazy. I'm ranked 43,000 because I just started. This is my first time doing it. Super easy to do. It took me like 5 minutes, and I didn't even spend that much. I didn't even do a big pool, and it was kind of cool. Like seeing, I like how you can see every penny you make. Like it's just like I'm making a penny, however a minute or something like that, and you just see it just going up. It's like, this is too good to be true. I can only imagine an ICO beast level of like however much he has in there. I saw he had like 6,000 in unclaimed fees. I don't know if that was for like, I don't know the time period on that, but crazy, man.
I would be doing this right now, but everything's so volatile. I don't want to sell my Hype is my concern. So if things go at the top end of this range, you end up with no Hype and all US dollars. Yes, you've made a profit. You could be happy with that profit, but Hype for me is like my baby. I'm like, I want to hold.
I mean, my range is like $39. So I don't think it's going to break 39. And then like with this market, the way that it is like in the next few weeks.
That's true.
We'll see.
That's true. But every dollar gets closer to 39, you lose a little bit of Hype. So that's keeping me away from going hard on this. It's probably a smart opportunity if we chop, like what this LP does. Like say what are you 39, and do you know what your low is?
28.
28.
It's a big range.
So as long as you stay in this range, you're just printing fees, and you just gamble that if you go outside of it, like if I'm somebody who's like a Hype bull, I don't mind going outside of it on the low end. That just means I've gotten more Hype than I started with.
Yeah, I've gotten more Hype. I started the pool with like basically 50-50, and right now it's 68% Hype and 32% USDC.
Yeah, and that'll shift as price goes up and down. But if you stay in this range, you're going to be earning money on capital that otherwise is just sitting there. So definitely.
Okay, I have a question for you because you're used to this, and I'm really not. Do you ever, like, how often do you rebalance your pools? Like, if you see it getting lopsided, or do you just not usually mess with it much?
So when I started, like, I was ultra aggressive in high APR pools. So like that's where most of my stuff came from. I was like, I'm gonna take this, like, call it 10 grand, and I'm gonna farm as much liquidity as possible. And like I'd be doing stuff like this. And then I would be rebalancing immediately when I left. So like I'm not a good one like to ask what I have done historically. I'd be like plus or minus 1%, rebalance immediately, stack fees as much as possible, get as much volume to climb that leaderboard. But if I had a wider range, so like say I was looking at
between 28 and 39.
I was looking at 28 and 39. If I was sitting here and you say, what percentage of hype are you in right now?
69, ironically.
So you're mostly hype. No, I wouldn't be rebalancing at all.
Okay.
No, I would just sit. Like if this is where I'm comfortable, I would just sit and let the fees work for me.
Yeah. That's something I feel like, I know they already have this that exists, but like, creating agents that rebalance your pools at the optimal times for you. I feel like that would be something that would be, you'd be able to create for yourself. Again, I know that there's just like platforms that do that. I mean, most of these platforms do that, but I don't know, like maybe creating a bot that does it strategically would be cool. Yeah,
you could probably get that spun up on open call like very quickly.
Yeah, I'm thinking that too.
Yeah, I would just feed it the hype documentation, the APA documentation, and have it like start with as small positions, like dollar position. You're doing it. You do it on Hyperliquid, so you're not paying gas fees or anything.
Yeah,
Project X is like a no fee or like a low fee platform at this point. I would try that and see how it does in terms of it's like, hey, I want to keep a tight pool. I want to continue to rebalance. My goal is to farm fees and protect capital. And like they'd probably be able to come up with a strategy that would be interesting.
So Big A said problem is at $28 you're 100% hype. When it goes to 25, you lost all your LP gains. My argument towards that would be that like I really need more hype anyways. So to me, this is like a DCA plan for hype if that were to happen. But that's also assuming I don't pool my position if the market like nukes, which honestly I'm probably not. I'm probably just gonna use it as a DCA opportunity. But yeah, I mean, if it was like if I had much more liquidity in this and I was concerned, I would pool the position before we get to that.
Yeah, I mean the thing is like if you're at $28, you have X amount of hype at $28. If you're just holding it, you've also lost that if it goes to 25 anyway.
Yeah,
more hype. Obviously, you've lost some USD and you've depreciated a bit on your entry price, but it's not. You actually have a better cost basis than if you just held it.
Yeah, I guess the latter would just be if you just were in USDC and in staples. But wow.
Yeah, but
why are we doing that?
I agree with this take completely. If it's like you're trying to just like farm gains on a token, like on a meme coin, like on a Trump meme coin.
Yeah.
This makes a ton of sense. Like, yeah, like I don't have conviction. I was greedy trying to farm LP. It fell out of my range. Now I'm stuck with this Trump token that I now spend all my games on, and I don't have the confidence to hold this long term. So I think that absolutely 100% correct, big time, big A, when it's something you might not have conviction in.
Do you have any pools going right now?
Nothing going right now. I'm mostly in cash. I'm just sitting in cash, sitting in hype.
Is there a reason for that? Like,
like I said, I don't want to lose hype. Like the only thing I'd be interested in LPing is hype. And I farmed a good amount on here. I mean, I'm top.
Yeah, that's huge, man.
100 in terms of like farming token.
Was that kind of your goal? Was to get top 1K?
Yeah, I would like to stay top 1K.
Do you think there's going to be any? Is there going to be airdrop attached to this, or?
I like this team. So this is the team that was behind Pac Moon.
Yeah, Lambo Land is the CEO, right?
Yeah, Lambo Land and Bobby.
Bobby.
You guys have made Pac Moon. They've been behind this, and from the beginning, they've been saying they really like what Hyperliquid did in terms of value creation for their their users. So they're of that mindset. I'm of the mindset that I'm going to support people who are going to support the users of their platform, and they're good people. They're working on cool stuff too. So like I talked to Bobby. I've talked to him since Pac Moon, and
dude, it was so easy. It was so easy to start this to provide liquidity. Like I like used their app to swap USDT on ETH to USDC on Hype, and it took me like a couple of minutes, and I had the LP going in probably 5 minutes. I was like, dude, this is so easy. Like back in the day, I had to use like Hyperswap or something like that, and then like I don't even remember the process. I probably did it more complicated, but it was like you had to buy Hype off of Hyperliquid. You send that to Hyperswap or something like that, and then get it in there. I'm like, bro, it's so much easier now.
Yeah, you can do anything, cross chain, whatever. They're building something really cool too. Like they're not just done. This isn't just sitting here. This isn't like, what am I farming for? Not much has changed over the last X amount of time. There's been small UI tweaks, but they're working on something that I've had a peek at that's like really, really cool. And I think it's going to be like a really, really cool crypto product that gets attention. That's connected to all this.
What if freaking Flex with the 8,000 in fees? What was your capital there? And your like, was that the time you're saying?
I think I had $25,000
wow.
that I was working with.
Yeah.
Just investing in the different pools. I probably ended up slightly on that. So like the fees are purely P&L, but this is going to get taxed too as income. So
yeah,
you can't offset this with losses. It's just pure income tax too. So now that I'm doing taxes, I'm like, oh man, I didn't offset enough. But
yeah, that's fair. But that's cool. That's cool.
And if anybody's looking to get into this just for like the yield strategy, one thing I'll often do is like I'll sort by like APR while looking at volume, because like volume is what drives fees. Every time a swap happens, fees get paid to people in there, and then like the APR is like how much liquidity is being provided to the volume, because there's only a little bit of liquidity in there, but there's a lot of volume. Each person who's providing liquidity gets more fees per dollar on their liquidity. So that's like a little hack on the LP side if you're looking just to acquire fees. So like, for example, the one that has the highest APR right now is this new pair. I'm saying absolutely. I'm saying don't put it into this pair because liquidity is so low. I don't even know what HPL is. Yeah. But like the people earning on this are earning more per dollar of volume because the liquidity is so low at $3,000. But if you're looking at something like this USDH/Hype, this one is interesting. 155% AP are on a $2 million liquidity pool. Feel a little safer with something like that. So I'll take a look at volume and APR and liquidity, kind of just seeing like where these things stack up with each other.
Yeah. This is one of the concepts that took me a long time to understand. And there's still nuances that like I get confused on sometimes. But I was talking about earlier, like with AI, like you just keep asking AI until you get it. But when I was trying to get into like liquidity pools, I feel like I was asking people and just like frustrating them because there was just some things that took forever to click with me on it. But yeah, I think I get it now. I would love to like be that guy that like is so good at this, like an expert at this, right? Because it's the concept of it is awesome, but I'm just more passive with it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and I've been doing it enough. Like, I think if you're somebody who like wants to like specialize in this domain, there's free money to be made, or at least like lower risk capital be made.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I just looked at the time. We're running 10 minutes over, so we're gonna have to wrap today. Big shout out, big thanks for hopping on today with us, Chris. You can follow Chris at Chris Coffee over on X. Great takes here. If you're somebody who's diving into AI, join the journey as Chris learns in public as well. Cool things, drop ideas to him. Great creator. He's got a great YouTube page as well. Chris, where else can we find you? What do you want to say before we head out today?
Yeah, I have Chris, my Chris Coffee. I post everything on there, and then Chris Coffee Crypto on YouTube, where I'm mainly just doing like videos I'm really passionate about right now because the market's kind of dull. But when the market like heats up, I usually do more videos. And then I raw content daily is where I do my AI videos. I think it's actually as a side channel on that. You can like maybe, but yeah, that's kind of where I do my AI videos at. Maybe I don't have it on there.
Oh, you got a disc golf channel
I do
too.
have a disc golf channel, but I forget. I have a crypto. I mean, I have an AI channel too. I actually am active on that. So the app that I'm building is actually disc golf related. So again, didn't think it was, anybody here would be super interested in it. But yeah, on Raw Content Daily is where I do AI videos. I've been actually doing really well on that channel. And I'm trying to. What's that?
What's the name of the channel again? I want to find it.
Raw Content Daily. It's all one word. I had it. It was another name, but and I'm gonna change that name soon. Yeah, that's my actual last name. It's right there. I'm doxed, but yeah, I've been doing my AI journey on this, and I uploaded a video a day ago on that, and yeah, it's all AI related stuff, all the way from OpenClaw to these new features being shipped or whatever. So, and again, I've had some success with that. I'm already like almost halfway to monetization on YouTube. That's 4,000 watch hours and 1,000 subscribers. So yeah, I'm just trying to get there. And one of the things, I know we got to go, but like one of the things I like about AI content and on YouTube is it doesn't depend on the market. Like with crypto content, when the market is doing well, people want to watch crypto content. When the market's doing bad, people don't want to watch it. Doesn't matter how interesting it is. So one of the things I liked about creating AI content is everybody's just interested all the time. So that's been kind of fun to do, is not not being scared to post on a down day that people won't watch. Like I'll just post what I want when I want, and people sometimes watch it. So
awesome. Well, thanks for hopping on. If you're listening over on YouTube right now, easy click away. Head over to Raw Content Daily, subscribe. Let's get Chris up to that 1K mark for subscriptions. If you're listening over on X, jump over to YouTube, give him a subscription, Raw Content Daily, all one word. Thanks again, Chris. Really appreciate you hopping on. Love chatting with you. We'll be chatting more, I'm sure. Kind of want to bring you on more often so we can
anytime, man.
Chat what's new. You can keep me up to date. Absolutely love it. Audience, I'm sure, loved it as well. Thanks again for listening. If you are listening in the audience, we do this podcast Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern time. You can catch us on all major podcasting platforms, Spotify, Apple, YouTube, Zora, if you want to watch us, see what we're talking about in real time. Thanks again for listening.